There was one question on the minds of attendees Thursday at AOPA Expo 2008 in San Jose, California. How will the results of this week's elections impact the general aviation community? AOPA brought in 4 heavy hitters in the industry to offer their opinions on what's to come in an Obama administration.
To start things off, what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask the panel their perspectives, just kind of in general, on the election. And if I could just ask y'all to keep it real brief. It doesn't have to relate to aviation, but just kind of what are your perspectives on what happened? And we'll start with you, Jim.
Well, thank you, Andy. And the electorate looks for the new presidential candidate to correct a weak flaw of the leaving president, the exiting president. And clearly, many Americans felt that George Bush had a lot of flaws. But I think many felt his worst flaw was that he really couldn't communicate very well. So they wanted the next president to be sure that we could have a communicator in the office, and clearly that was one of the issues that helped Mr. Obama.
We are entering an era of great expectations. People voted on the basis of hope and change, which are not self-defining terms, or whatever you think they are. And that's going to give rise to great expectations. People were also voting, I think, because they wanted to repudiate. They wanted to express anger. And I do believe that President-elect Obama's honeymoon is going to be very brief. I think it would be a mistake to think that the election results represent some sort of profound ideological sea change.
Does this mean a shift to more liberal policies? And then let me speak a little bit about what that may mean for you all. We don't know what our vision is for next gen. No one can define it, no one can really describe it, and no one can say how we're going to get there over the next 3 to 5 years. So someone who's got leadership abilities, someone who clearly has got management abilities, because it is at its heart managing a very large organization.
What we're going to see is the White House exerting a discipline on the Congress that may not be expected, and I think to that end, I think Jane is absolutely right. I think that this administration is likely to be much more centrist than people on either side hope or fear is going to happen.
AOPA's Andy Cebula also had the chance to play a prank on outgoing President Phil Boyer, with a little help from Oregon Congressman Peter DeFazio.
I've got some good news for you here. Having outlasted 6 and knowing that there's going to be a vacancy come next year and you're going to be retired and unemployed, I've got the inside track with the Obama folks for you to be appointed as the next FAA Administrator. How's that?
Sunny or cloudy, rainy or bright, day or night. The future of flying is now clearly in sight. Garmin SVT, synthetic vision technology.
Following Thursday's opening session at AOPA Expo 2008, Aero-News spent some time with former FAA Administrator Jane Garvey to ask her thoughts on the future ahead for general aviation.
Jane, thanks so much for your time. Obviously, things have changed in the last 48 hours. We have a new administration and potentially a new attitude for aviation. Any prognostications you might be willing to make as a former insider?
Well, I think certainly this administration is going to take transportation very seriously. I think we've seen President-elect Obama talk about transportation. I think there are enormous challenges for aviation, and I think the extent to which we all can articulate clearly to the new administration how important aviation is, how it really is an enabler. It's an enabler for better economic growth. It's an enabler on environmental issues, quality of life issues. So it's an important part of our society, and I think it will be an important part of this administration.
Any advice you might have for a next FAA administrator?
Well, I think the next FAA administrator is going to have some real very, very serious challenges, and it's going to have to be someone, I think, who's really willing to give it that sort of time and commitment, and with some real leadership qualities. We have to really determine where we're going in the next generation, next gen as it's referred to. There are some real serious issues with labor management relationships. I think that's going to be very critical. We have an FAA bill that is up for reauthorization, so we'll need an administrator who can really hit the ground running. There'll be important issues to deal with.
I don't know of any FAA administrator who ever had to deal with the challenges that you did and under extraordinary circumstances. In your judgment, can we look forward to a brighter future for aviation, or maybe just hopefully holding course?
Well, I'm pretty much an optimist, and I saw really, even with 9/11, this industry come together. Even the future of aviation, the Ops Evolution Plan, we came together and said this is where we want to go, and this industry will do it. They've done it so many times. We are an industry that has grown up together, the public and the private sector, and I'm confident we'll do that in this next administration as well.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its detailed design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
Cirrus Design led the day's press conference schedule with news of its latest innovation in flying safety, Perspective EVS.
Cirrus Perspective. Everybody's seen this, and the product that we rolled out this summer, it's gone over quite well. We're very pleased with the program. And what we've tried to do, working with Garmin on this, is to change and continue to evolve people's perspective about what it takes to be able to fly. What we have next is now Perspective EVS. This is a MaxViz 600 camera. The interesting thing about this is that it's both infrared and visible fused together. So you really do have tremendous at-night situational awareness in the landing mode. The next part of the announcement that it would be, as part of the 10th anniversary of the SR-20, is SR-20 with Perspective. We have a perception by some people that Cirrus only sells really expensive airplanes, $600,000 turbo SR-22s. Well, obviously that's not the case. In fact, here's a sub $300,000 with Garmin Perspective, very well equipped, and pretty high performance airplane. So we really do think that these changes will continue to grow the market as people move up through these airplanes.
In other news, you may now order Diamond Aircraft's entry-level DA-20 with a partial glass panel, thanks to the gang at Aspen Avionics.
The DA-20 has been our base aircraft for the flight training market. It's very popular. We've designed the aircraft for the flight schools, very robust. We've produced over 1,000 of them. But one of the questions we've had recently, of course, is can we get a glass cockpit in it? And now you can. We've selected Aspen Avionics. It's a very good primary flight display. We're introducing the aircraft immediately, so it's already certified. People have already purchased the aircraft with the primary flight display. Later next year, Aspen is also introducing the multifunction display, and the whole installation is already set up to be upgradable. So you'll have a primary flight display and multifunction display.
Diamond also took the opportunity to unveil its new Lycomine-powered DA-42 L360. An interim step in the plane maker's quest to move forward after the troubles at engine maker Thielert.
We're going to be offering choices to our customers. The aircraft originally came onto the market and has been very successful with almost 500 units delivered. We've worked with Lycoming to develop a counter-rotating engine, so the aircraft has basically no adverse torque when you're climbing out. It's 360 horsepower total, 180 horsepower side. It's fuel injected, and the aircraft also has the known ice certification. So compared to some of the competitors, specifically a Piper Seminole, it offers some distinct advantages. We have the counter-rotating propellers, we have fuel injection, known ice certification, and best of all, the aircraft is designed such that it can be retrofit to a diesel engine in future. If the customer decides to do so, or you can take existing Thielert-powered aircraft and retrofit them with a Lycoming engine as well.
And those are the headlines from the first day at AOPA Expo 2008 in San Jose. For the Aero-News Network and Aero-TV, I'm ANN Managing Editor Rob Vinfrock.